Hello and welcome to Travel Tales, my weekly podcast. I'm Isabella, the virtual travel agent within the new Journey Hero travel app that will soon be available for you to download. Each episode of this podcast, we visit a particular location around the world and speak with travellers that are empowered by Journey Hero every day. There are few cities in the world that have such a momentous history as Athens. It is the birthplace of democracy and has been continuously inhabited for more than 5,000 years. Athens is a beautifully white shining city that is nestled on a narrow strip of land between the Aegean Sea and the mountains of Attica. What makes this city so important? I've asked my good friend Stavriana, who is of Greek origin from the island of Cyprus, to speak with me about this wonderful city. Hi Stavriana.
Hi Isabella, I'm proud to speak of Athens. It is the spiritual home of all Greeks and everyone who loves freedom.
Wow, that's a bold statement, Stavriana. Why do you say that?
Athens is not a city where you remember history. Athens is a place where you live with history every single day. You cannot avoid seeing history from multiple angles because the Acropolis with its beautiful temples can be seen from all over the city. All of this reminds us that Athens is the traditional home of freedom and democracy.
Now I understand why you're so passionate about it. Tell me what you like best about Athens.
Athens is so alive. There's always something exciting happening in its wonderful neighborhoods like Glyfada, Kolonaki, Monastiraki and the port of Piraeus.
Let me tell our listeners how to travel about in Athens. You'll most probably fly into Athens International Airport, Eleftherios Venizelos, in the village of Markopoulo. This is on the opposite side of the mountains from Athens proper. The airport was new in 2004 and is a modern and convenient facility. From the airport, you can take a train that conveniently connects to the subway system in Athens, called the Metro, or you can take a taxi. Taxis are metered, so you don't need to worry about negotiating a rate. Once inside the city, you can walk almost everywhere or hop on the convenient metro system. Every metro station has a museum for the artifacts that were uncovered as the metro was built. There is even an ancient temple under the central metro station in Syntagma Square. So it is really easy to navigate Athens. So Stavriana, when is the best time to visit Athens?
Athens has some pretty remarkable weather extremes. It is typically up to 40 degrees Celsius during the summer and can be below zero during the winter. So both springtime and autumn are the best times. The sun is warm during the day as it reflects off the most white buildings and the nights are pleasantly cool.
That sounds delightful. What are your favourite sights?
You must start at the Acropolis. In Greek, the name means high city, and it is definitely a site of reference from around the area. The view from the top of the Acropolis is beautiful, but the partially ruined temples are really the attraction. The Propylaea, the entrance to the Acropolis, has been almost completely restored and is beautiful with its ceremonial entrance and a small temple of Nike, which means victory. Once on the Acropolis, the main attraction is the Parthenon, the temple of Athena. This is instantly recognizable. Ongoing repair work is stitching together this famous structure loved for its iconic form. My favorite temple is the nearby Erechtheum. The porch of Erechtheum is supported by columns called the Caryatides, which are in the shape of robed women. I like the depiction of females that are strong enough to hold up this grand temple. Greek women are known for their strength and beauty.
Wow, that sounds wonderful, Stavriana. What else should visitors see?
Visitors must stop at the Acropolis Museum just downhill from the high place. This might just be the best museum in the entire world. In 479 BC, Athens was captured by the Persian king Xerxes I, who destroyed the old temples on the Acropolis. The people of Athens carefully buried those holy remains and then built the classical temples that we see today. Archaeologists have unearthed these incredibly beautiful archaic remains and they are now shown in the museum. I'd like to think this is the gift of the earlier Athenians to their descendants as a reminder of the price of freedom. The collection in the museum is breathtaking in its beauty and presentation.
That sounds spectacular. Anything else?
Look, Isabella, there's history everywhere you look in Athens. Almost every street has a monument, temple, or ancient church. This does not make the city seem dead or of the past. However, Athens is alive today as it has been for thousands of years. I love walking in the ancient agora with its stoa of Attalos where Socrates once taught. As a lawyer, I feel that my entire vocation has its foundation with these ancient stones.
What do you do if you tire of all that history, Stavriana?
I go shopping, of course. The upscale neighborhood of Kolonaki is packed with boutiques and wonderful cafes. The Plaka is filled with small shops selling interesting items, and I love Abyssinia Square, which holds a market where you can buy literally anything and at a good price.
A little retail therapy always revives me as well. Speaking of selling things, please listen to this short message. With Journey Hero, you can dream, search, shop and book deals easily that are just right for you. Then, after you find your best trip, we'll keep looking for an even better deal. If we find it, we'll ask you if you want to swap. If you choose to swap, we will take care of all of the rebooking and refund the difference in price to your wallet, all with never storing your data on the cloud. There are no unfulfilled promises, no in-store credits and no fuss. Just money back in your wallet. How cool is that? Now, back to our podcast. Stavriana, what are your favourite places to eat in Athens?
Isabella, wonderful tavernas around in Athens. The Greeks love their food. On nearly every corner there is a small place with the sound of live bouzouki music and the smell of delicious food served meze style.
Yum, that sounds amazing. What are your favourites?
For fresh seafood, I recommend Jimmy and the Fish, right on the port of Piraeus. They have tables right on the water and the fish and seafood could not be fresher. This is a place alive with laughter and fun. Within the Plaka, there are fabulous restaurants, but my favorite is Lithos, an institution for local residents. Lithos has wonderful vegetarian meat and fish selection, so there is something there for everyone. When I want fine dining to impress a guest, I visit Estiatorio Milos in the basement of the Athens Hilton. This is the parent of the famous Milos restaurants in New York City, Las Vegas, and other world locations. For me, Milos in Athens is still the best.
That all sounds wonderful. It sounds like visitors won't go hungry in Athens. Mealtime is for socialising in Athens. Everyone relaxes and has fun with family and friends. Eating in Athens is one of the great joys of life. So, Stavriana, where do you like to party in Athens? I understand that Athens has a wonderful nightlife.
Oh yes, there are few places as fun at night as Athens.
That's really saying something.
The bar scene changes weekly in Athens, with a new hotspot instantly popping up, with the local residents mysteriously find like some type of Greek radar. There are beach clubs in neighborhoods like Glyfada that sparkle during the summer, and there are warm, cozy tavernas for sipping wine in the winter, but here are some of my favorites. The patio at the Galaxy Bar on the top floor of the Athens Hilton has a view of the Acropolis that is the best in town. DJs keep the dance floor moving until the early hours and the bartenders make incredible cocktails. It is always a favorite. A new favorite of mine is Baba Oram, down a side street close to Syntagma Square. This lively bar is the place to enjoy rum cocktails while mingling with beautiful people. Finally, I love the Q project in the Keramikos, the ancient area where ceramics were made in Athens. The Q project has DJs and a wonderful outdoor bar area with great views from below the Acropolis.
Wow, that all sounds really fun. It is a wonder that you ever find time to sleep in Athens. You'll eventually need to sleep, however. With so many different choices, where are your preferred places to stay, Stavriana?
The classic property to stay in Athens is the Hotel Grand Bretagne right on Syntagma Square. This is the best location and the hotel is beautiful with perfect service.
That is one of my top choices as well. I also love both the Plaka Hotel for its location and the Electrum Acropolis Hotel for the same reason. It is so easy to walk everywhere from these wonderful properties.
Athens is a great bargain right now. After the pandemic, everyone wants to return to normal and Athens is throwing out the welcome mat for everyone to return to party.
Thank you for your recommendations, Stavriana, and thank you so much for joining us today. Do you have any closing thoughts to share with our listeners?
Athens is mad for basketball since Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks became the MVP of the NBA for the second year in a row. Yannis is affectionately known as the Greek freak because of his size and skill. He was born in Athens in 1994 and, despite being born of immigrants from Nigeria, is embraced as a true son of the city. That's Athens at its heart, a place of freedom.
That's so cool, Stavriana. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for listening to Travel Tales with me, Isabella. Before you go, show some love by leaving us a review where you found this podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook at Journey Hero app for more travel inspiration. Be sure to download the app as soon as it's available in your area.